something a little bit different this year. Instead of doing weekly updates, I'm going to try and do different stages of the hunt for Wishbone and I. I gotta be real quiet here. It's not real loud out. We're in a blind, but I think we can talk a little bit here. But it's October 6th, and we've only hunted 2 times. It's been in the upper 80s. So we've been combining our beans and combining our corn and hauling loads in. And we're just about done, and then we got to put cover crops in. So we kind of took advantage of that warm weather to get that work done. Took a couple nights off and hunted. But I think like most hunters this year, we don't have, and I'll see if Wishbone here says differently, but right now I don't have a target buck at all. I don't have a single buck. That I think there's some bucks around that I want to target, but I don't have any idea where they are right now. I don't have any pictures. We have pictures of 2 or maybe 3 mature bucks, but just kind of like one-offs. And my opinion on that is, if you're getting a mature buck picture in early October, even if it's at night, they're close, because they're not moving a lot this time of year. So like most hunters, if you don't have a target buck to hunt right now, early season, what are we going to be doing? Well, most of our sits are going to be on green early in the season, or they're going to be observation sits. I think we're going to end up doing a lot of observation sits until we find something we want to hunt, so that we're not putting a lot of pressure on the deer. Tonight we're sitting on a green transition plot. I have zero confidence of like seeing a nice shooter buck. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But we can see a little bit. We got combined corn out here. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to see because we still have some standing corn here. But observation sits. If you don't have a target buck, a lot of observation sits. Just keep moving around. And then the other thing is, if you have a bunch of cameras out and you're not getting pictures of target bucks, then hunt where your cameras aren't, because there's not a nice buck there, for example. So hunt where your cameras aren't. That's a strategy. The other thing is, this time of year, I think what triggers a little bit of when will a buck show up that you haven't gotten yet, it'll be changing food source will be the number one reason. So for us, there's a lot of standing corn, a ton of standing corn. In fact, I would say most corn is still standing. We're probably one of the few people that have taken our corn off. And with all that standing corn, any little ditch or waterway or fence row that has corn around it is a potential bedding spot. You remove the corn. I've talked about this in other videos, but you remove the corn and all of a sudden that bedding spot is just too open. So when corn starts coming off, you might pick up a buck. A weather event could change a food source. So a lot of times deer this time of year, if it's hot and dry, they'll be entirely on green food because of the dew and the moisture content in the green. You get a rain event, a little bit of colder weather, and all of a sudden maybe they'll be on cut corn. Maybe they'll be hitting beans a little bit. So look for weather, especially rain, to change that food source overnight. It's not a guarantee, but it's things that I look for. I always like a rain event, like every week or 10 days or 7 days. If I can get a weather front that moves through, not because of the famous cold front, but because that can change food sources. The flip side of that is if I'm getting a lot of sights of a nice mature buck and I'm honing in on them, I don't want a weather event because I don't want him to change that pattern. So we had rain last night, rain all day today, so maybe something will trigger. Maybe all of a sudden we'll pick up a buck. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe tonight we'll see one with an observation sit. But that's our strategy, I think, right now, early October, for the next, for sure, probably 14 to 20 days until that first doe comes into heat, which we're a ways away. It's going to be observation sits, transition food plots, transition areas. It's all bed to feed pattern. It's all bed to feed pattern right now. Another thing that we're going to be doing is this early season, if we don't have a mature buck that we're targeting, it's a good time to take some does if you're inclined to be shooting some does. So we'll probably, there's a doe right around this area that's got twin buck fawns. Perfect. That's the does you want to target, are the ones with buck fawns. So if we see her tonight, there's a good chance she's not going to make it. You got anything to add, Wishbone? That's kind of been our strategy early season. Yeah, so the other thing is, if most hunters don't have 15 mature bucks to hunt like these YouTube stars. So the worst thing you can do is be really aggressive this time of year. If you don't have that, we're kind of on a rebuilding right now. Last 2 years, 3 years, we lost a lot of deer to EHD, a lot to hunters. I think we got a couple poached in the area. So we're kind of on a rebuild here, which is fine. Get more tree stand time this year. But if you're on a rebuild, you're trying to grow bucks, the one thing you can do in the season is back off, remove hunting pressure, so that the bucks select your farm more, so that you can protect them years to come. So that's just kind of something to keep in the back of your mind. We're always thinking next year, 2 and 3 years down the road. So thanks for watching, and we'll see what happens here tonight. I'm going to turn the camera on and show you this transition food plot tonight. Show you where we're hunting, and then we're going to cut away.